Hey guys, it is Friday, finally! The snow delay messed up the kids' half day, but I'm picking up Audrey early because she needs a mental health break very badly. I wanted to share a very strange dream I had last night. It was a male associate from way back who came to me, and it seemed just like a regular reunion. Saw him at, I don't know, a mall, a grocery store, something like that, and we're just kind of catching up about families, the kids, that sort of thing. And he was like, so did you know I was gonna die? And I was like, well, I didn't know you were gonna die. I knew you were gonna be hurt really badly and probably not be able to continue to do what you're doing professionally. It's a very physically intensive job. And I was like, would you have wanted me to tell you? And he was like, no, because then I would have been afraid of doing it. And I'm like, well, yeah. I was like, are you mad? And he was like, no, I'm not mad. Just kind of bummed. And I was like, yeah, I totally get that, He's not dead yet, or injured yet. It hit me like, sometimes we do have those people, and that's why I don't really share with people that I can very easily figure out how you're going to die. Because most people don't want to know, because most people have this inherent fear of death, just in general. Most mediums have absolutely no fear of death. We would love to go home, and if we were allowed to commit suicide to go home faster, most of us would have been home a long time ago. But because there are rules, we're still here doing our work. But curiosity is a very dangerous thing. It's interesting, though, to note that in my entire lifetime, I've only really been wrong about 3 things. Okay? I was wrong about the sex of one baby, and I think that's unfair because I think that kid's trans, but hasn't come out yet, so I can't verify it. I was wrong about a natural disaster, but that happens a lot, and I feel like a lot of psychic intuitive people harp on themselves about that. But natural disasters are weird, and timelines shift, so you shouldn't harp about that. And I was wrong about one person's death. They still died, but in a different way. So, out of all of the things that I have predicted, written down, shared with others as predictions, I'm not wrong that often. Now, obviously, I don't go around bragging about it. Why? Because statistically speaking, the more of anything that you do, the more wrong you're going to be. People always ask me about sporting events, and I'm like, I don't care about sporting events. Could I? Yes, but it's funny, I always guess the colors or like the area they're in. So like, it was basketball, and someone was asking me about basketball. They're like, look, I really need this $3,000, this $3,000 pot. If you guess who wins. And so I told them, I was like, it's blue and white, and they're somewhere in this area. And they're like, well, that could be 3 teams. And I'm like, I don't know what to tell you. I'm like, clearly the universe doesn't want you to have that $3,000 that badly if you can't figure this out. Not my job. But it's one of those things where it's like, you don't want to use your powers for evil, and you don't always know what people are going to do with the information that they get. Because you can give someone that information. You can say the colors are blue and white, and I was specific about the type of blue because that is pretty broad. But someone could use that and then go bet their house and all their savings and their 401k, and then lose and be mad at me and be like, dude, you were going to lose regardless. It had nothing to do with me. I appreciate the faith, but that was a really dumb move. Don't use what any psychic says, especially recently, because the timelines absolutely have been shifting very erratically. And some of us notice more than others. I tend to notice in the very strange neutral moments when I'm like, I already paid that bill, and And then I'm like, did I pay that bill? Because almost everything is automatic except for 1 or 2 of my bills. And I always sit down like a week or a week and a half ahead of time and schedule everything for the payment date. And it's those little times where I'm like, oh yeah, that was a timeline where they did discontinue my hair color and I still have purple hair. It's very, very confusing. And if you're not aware of the timeline shifts, I'm jealous. Very jealous. But the world changes very quickly, and in a heartbeat of a moment, somebody makes a decision that can absolutely change. It's the butterfly wing thing. But what matters is that I encourage people to keep a journal, to mail yourself letters with predictions if you're starting out with that sort of thing. Some people like to do videos and keep them private so that you can upload them to YouTube and still have proof of the date that you uploaded it, and be talking about whatever it is you're talking about, whether it's sports, politics, famous people, natural disasters, whatever it is. But I'm always very cautious to warn people not to be public about it unless you want people to hound you for information. Because there are a few psychics that get paid very well by private companies to do predictions regarding stock markets, money, that sort of thing. That's not my thing. That's so not my thing. But if that is your thing, look into it. However, I think it is important just to build your self-esteem and confidence to do it for yourself. So if you're like, they're predicting snow in my area and they're saying it's only going to be 1 inch, and I think it's going to be 3 feet. Journal, blah, 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 today's date, I think we're going to get 3 feet of snow on, I don't know, are they saying Saturday or Sunday? On this date. And that way you can say, hey, I said that was going to happen. It happened. Very cool. If you're wrong, find out where the misinterpretation happened, okay? Because a lot of times we get visuals, and we need to learn how to interpret that information, because it might have shown you a lot of snow, but that might have been a lot of snow for a completely different area. So you need to figure out how to ask questions of your intuition to better figure out the details. And the sooner you do it, the more often you practice, the better you're going to get. I also think that remote viewing is a fantabulous skill for absolutely everyone to have. Absolutely, absolutely. And I think in the event of an emergency, it is absolutely one of the most priceless skills that you can have. I mean, obviously being prepared for an emergency, but also, if you're like, okay, I need to find my family. My dog is lost. I need to find my dog. Obviously, it's probably going to be a lot harder to do for you because you're emotionally invested and already stressed about it. But if you can do that for friends and family, that's fantastic. Or you're like, oh, damn, I completely forgot where I parked. Okay, hold on. Let me figure out where my car is and where I am in relation to my car. So remote viewing is great for a lot of different things. It's also a big jump into astral projection. So if people are wanting to learn different skills, these are great skills along the way to practice and use and hone in order to reach whatever your final goal is. I was a little more woo-woo today, and just because I had a very woo-woo dream. So if you have any questions about those things, let me know. Otherwise, I hope you have a fantabulous weekend and you don't get dumped on, because they're not calling for much, and I'm totally okay with that, because I do not want to dig 3 feet of snow out of our barnyard. Not at all. Not at all. I want to sit at home, have it be a little slushy, have hot cocoa with the kids, and not do a daggone thing. That is the weekend I want. I'm putting it out there. But stay safe, stay sane, and keep practicing your skills. It's just like learning a language. If you don't practice these skills consistently, you will just naturally lose a little bit of instinct for them. Will it go away totally? No, not really. But you're going to have to practice, that learning curve. You have to keep it up. So rotate the different kinds of things that you want to learn this year. Be like, okay, this month I'm going to focus on remote viewing. This month I'm going to focus on healing and herbs. This month I'm going to focus on meditation and prayer. So yeah, keep busy. You know, it's just kind of the seasonal blues season, so keep busy. I love you guys. Bye.